Hey everyone, it's Jeannie from A1 Vacuum and Sewing, and let's just call this Jeannie Can't Stop Doing OESD Tiling Scenes. So this is what I'm working on right here. This is called, let me see if I can get some better lighting, Thomas Kinkade Studio, The Sea of Tranquility Tiling Scene. Let's see if I can get this. Here we go. That is what I'm going to be working on, and I love it. It's reminds me of Maine, New England, and let me show you what you're going to need. So they give you a little list here. First of all, you're going to have your thread colors. Here are my thread colors. And I had almost, it amazes me. No matter how much thread I have, I'm still always missing like 20%, sometimes more than that. So with my threads, the first thing I like to do with them, because I'm going to be doing this on my multi-needle, is I like to take each thread and I write the color on here multiple times. If I can put it on there 3 times, I put it on there 3 times. So most of these have the colors written on them. There's a couple of colors that I've never owned before. So what I'll start off with is I will pull the top off. Did you know you could do that? And then I like to hold this to the center for me. And then this is color 2761. I will write that on here. So 2761. I'll turn it 2761 and turn it one more time and 2761. I used to write it 2 times, but if I can fit it, I will write it 3 times. So I'll go through all of these. And 3150, never had that one. 3150. So 3150. This, for me, I find so helpful when my colors are up on the stand because I don't have to grab them and try and see the little number here. I can just see it from, even my old eyes can see them up on the stand. So I'm going to go ahead and I will number the rest of my colors right now. I'll be right back. I'm back again. If it's a small number, then I'll put it on 4 times. Once here, like kind of like south, east, northwest. So I'll do that. Because sometimes I have to twirl my colors to see the numbers. Okay, 134. And now I will finish the rest and I'll be right back. Okay, now that all my colors are numbered and ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and prep my fabric. My iron is heating up. So I like to use strips that are going to be 12.5 inches. And the reason for that is they fit really perfect in here. When I'm using this hoop, I could go even skinnier. Like you could go literally from like edge to edge. And if this is at 5, we could do 5 to maybe 16. So 11 inches would be enough. I cut my strips down to, these are cut down to 12 inches. And I also, for these, I am, the color I'm using, this is grunge and it's called vanilla. And what I loved about this fabric is I liked the fabric because it had like, you know, shades of cream all the way up to darker shades of, I'd call that like linen. And what they recommended for your color was a linen color, and that's what they used. So this is what I'm going to be using. Again, this is grunge vanilla. So I cut, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strips that are 12 inches wide. And for me, I can fit usually 7 to each strip, and I usually mess up on like 1 or 2. So if 7 times 5 is 35, and that gives me an opportunity to mess up 3. And if you want, you could also just do 6 to a strip. And in that case, I'll have to get 1 more strip to finish up. So these are already cut and ready to go. I'm going to put shape flex or fusible woven down the center of these. So my strips are 12 inches. I will usually cut my fusible woven, and I'm starting to panic a little bit because I didn't realize that there was so little of this left. but you're going to want about 44 inches, and you can do it 42 inches. The reason for that is each strip from selvage to selvage is between 45 to 44 inches, but you don't need your fusible woven to go all the way to the edge because that'll be under the edge of the hoop, and you don't need it to go all the way to the edge here. So this is 12 inches. The strips we're going to run down the center are going to be 10 inches wide. The reason they'll be 10 inches wide is because your shape flex off the roll is 20 inches. We're going to cut it 42 inches or 43 inches, and then we'll cut it right down the center, down that strip, so you'll have 10-inch strips. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to fold this over. Oh, look at this. Look at how sneaky they are. I can't stand it when they do that. When I get like, I guess they have to do something with it, right? So I'm going to start from this end. And this is all I have. Tomorrow I'm going to grab a bolt because I have no idea what's going to happen with the tariffs. And I just don't like to be caught not having the supplies I need. And fusible woven, I use it a lot. A lot. So we're going to go here. This is going to be, why don't we go from here to, I'm going to double it over. And we'll do 21.5 inches. So that'll be 43. And that should be plenty. And I'm going to do 2 of those. Well, we should really do 3 cuts, right? We should do 3 cuts. So that is, look at this edge over here. Ick. We'll just go 22 because I have such a icky edge. Who was cutting that? Looks like they used like, I don't know, a nail file or something. So I'm measuring over here from the 0 to the 22. And we'll go ahead and make sure the top isn't too far off as well. I've been a machine this weekend. Some weekends, not so much. Some weekends, I'm a machine. Last weekend, I wasn't here. I can't even believe that last weekend was already last weekend. Do you know what I mean? Because we were in Las Vegas last weekend. All right, let's grab a ruler. This isn't going to be a pretty cut, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. It's not going to be pretty because I'm trying to deal with that edge right there. And it's super wrinkly under here as well. So we'll just do our best. Do you remember that song? I did my best, but I guess my best wasn't good enough. Was that? I don't even remember who sang that. Do you remember that song? I'm going to do my best is what I'm trying to say to you. Oh my goodness. Do those of you that stitch with me, do you ever go, she does not shut up? Okay, we want 10 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a wider ruler now. I'll use one of my favorites. Let's use the 12.5 inch by 18 inches. That one is such a gorgeous ruler. Oh, that's not it. Why don't we do this? I'm going to do my square. And we'll just go 10 inches. And because this is all wrinkled, and it's not that much to really cut, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it like this. Right? So I don't miss like a giant. Oh, look at, it's really not, I'm going to do 9 7/8. 9 7/8. Just do your best. See that big wrinkle there that I almost cut through? Almost made it like awful. We'll use this to kind of flatten everything out. We'll do 9 7/8. I just love it when I'm productive. When I'm not productive, it makes me so sad. And for me, at this point, productive means working, sewing, stitching. I just have so many things I want to do. Talking to the kids, cleaning the house. My mom was the most productive person in the world. I know you're going to say your mom was, but my mom was. And sometimes, do you ever think about your mom? And my mom, I think back about my mom and how she worked so hard and she never, ever complained. I don't ever remember. And I complained all the time. Oh my God. What's wrong with me? And I think about all these times that she was so tired and like never said anything. And I think about myself and like what a big whiner I am. Okay, I'm gonna do that again. We're gonna do that because we need at least what's the word I'm looking for? Why don't I just cut this in half? We're just gonna go ahead and cut this in half. We're cutting it up this like vertically so that we have 10 inches, 10 inches. Or it's really gonna be like 9 7/8. Okay, here we go. Did I cut that? Yes, I did. And then we'll just press this down the center. Oh my goodness. Note to self, because Patrick and I are going to run to the store. Grab a bolt of Shape Flex. You know who else doesn't complain much? My husband. He just does his thing and he doesn't complain. I don't know if I'll need all of this. How long is that? We better keep cutting, right? Let's just keep cutting. What is this? This big wrinkle. I didn't take into account that big wrinkle. Oh, yeah, look at that. I don't know if you can see that, but that big wrinkle made it so everything was off quite a bit. It's okay. It's okay. Look, connected it. It's okay. It's what you get when you get the end of the bolt, right? And you get weird stuff happening. Maybe we'll just go with that because maybe that'll be almost enough. All right. Things that make your Shape Flex adhere to your fabric. Time and moisture. So I have a water bottle right here. So that's going to have water in it. I do not put water in my iron. Because irons get gross. Sometimes they sit for a while and then weird stuff comes out of them. So So I only spray water on. Here, we'll start on this side. I'm going to go ahead and grab my Shape Flex that's been trimmed down the center. We'll put it right here. And I'm just going to go down the center of this the best I can. Doesn't have to be perfect. My iron should be nice and hot. And just take your time. This is going to bore you to tears. I don't want to make you sad. I want you to come back. So I'm going to pause the video. Maybe I'll just do one strip with you so you can see it. And I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. This is just what I do. Okay? But you definitely want this. What the Shape Flex does is it kind of beefs up your fabric a little bit. And it stabilizes a little bit. You want to make sure before you lay it down there's no dark threads in here. That I don't know why, because I don't use red, but red always seems to be sandwiched in between. Is that just amazing? It's amazing to me. Or even just a white thread will get sandwiched in between and that'll shadow through. You're really not going to see it because the whole entire, all the fabric is going to be stitched over. This is going to be very dense. Patrick, you know what I was just talking about?
What? How much you love me?
Well, kind of. I was talking about how you never complain.
Oh, I never complain?
You don't complain about anything. I don't get it. He just said something really funny. But yeah, he does not complain. Oh my God, the front, this fabric's going to be so amazing. Grunge is so great for these tiling scenes. It's so great because, just because. It's so great because it's kind of a natural scene. And grunge looks kind of organic too. Because it's not just solid. There's variations, and the variations feel organic. How about that? Is that a better explanation? And you know you can use the front and the back side of your grunge. And the other good thing is about grunge, and this grunge, is it hides coffee. Because I spilt my coffee on the bolt. But it just got on the first couple of rolls, and I took it. I go, oh, that makes my decision easy. This is what I'll be using. Okay, I think it says 10 to 15 seconds. You want to make sure it's adhered well. And I'm glad I'm using this icky piece for this because it doesn't matter that the edges aren't totally straight. Sometimes I'll press it from the front side too. But I love this. I'm not going to press a crease in it, but I'll press from the front too. Ooh, that was hot. Let's turn it over. Press this side as well. Okay, so what I have is, here's my fabric, and down the center is that Shape Flex, the fusible woven right down the center, because the design itself is going to be about 7 inches. This is 10, so you still have 1.5 inches on either side, and this will all go underneath the edges of the hoop. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and press my other 4 pieces of fabric because I have 5 strips, and I will be right back. Okay, I just finished ironing my last strip and used up almost every bit of Shape Flex I have, so I told you that makes me panic a little bit. So these are ready to go. Next thing we're going to do is let's talk about stabilizer. So this is a very heavy stitch count. I just finished stitching out Summer Welcome Garden Flag, and that is a very light stitch count with a lot of applique. So it called for 2 layers of Ultra Clean and Tear, which is a light tearaway. This is calling for 2 layers. Let me get the book. This is going to call for 2 layers of heavyweight tearaway. We already did the fusible woven. Already went ahead and attached that. And so I'm going to be using this. The reason I'm going to be using this is Kimberbell makes a they make a 12-inch, and I really like a 12-inch stabilizer. OESD does not make a 12-inch stabilizer. They should. I really choose my stabilizer, the roll of it, based on whatever hoop I'm using. So since I'm using this 5x7 hoop, this is going to be the best fit for me. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off. This, save this. Don't throw this away, because sometimes we forget what stabilizer we're using. Just pop it right down there in the center, and I will pre-cut some of my pieces. So you really just need to have it exactly the back side of here where the magnets go. So from here to here is going to work. I'm going to turn off my iron because we're done with that too. Let's turn off the iron. Did I tell you how I dreamt about that iron breaking so that I could get a Tula Pink, and then the cord got wrapped around my the wheel of something I was moving, and it smashed to the ground, and it cosmetically broke but still works. So now I just have an ugly iron that still works. So what we're going to measure is, I'm just measuring here on the mat, and I'm just going to go up to 9 inches. So the other thing I could do is you could do 20 inch and fold it in half. This, see how perfect it is? It goes from like edge to edge. So I'm just going to cut, see right here. Perfect. I mean, we could get away with a little bit smaller too, but since it's 9 inches, I'm just going to cut 18-inch pieces, fold them in half, have them ready to go. So, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes when I'm just doing stuff like this, if it's faster, I'll use a ruler, but sometimes I'll eyeball and I'll cut. So I'm just going to cut these strips down into 18-inch pieces. It would be good to run 2 rolls together, right? And then cut. I think I did bring another roll home. And then I'll fold these so they're ready to go. And then I just tuck it under here. And then we're just going to keep going. So, not to bore you, but this is how I prep. There's another 18-inch piece. Fold it in half. And that's ready to grab and go. And then I'll just have a big stack of stabilizer ready to stitch. $18 inches. Cut. Fold it in half. Pop it under here. All right, so I'm not going to bore you. I'm going to go ahead and cut 32 of those. Be right back. Done. So I cut all of my stabilizer from one roll. And quite honestly, I get bored so easily. I can't do anymore. It came out to, oh, I counted now. I don't know. So that's 5, 10. Oh, well, it would be 20, right? So it was one piece was a little bit short, but there are 20 pieces. So I'll have to use another roll to get the other 12, but we are ready to go. So let's go on over to the machine and let's start stitching. I'm going to start from tile number 1. Okay. I'm at my computer. I'm going to go ahead and do my design database transfer. I'm going to transfer from my computer to my 10 needle, my 1055X. I have everything on the network. So you have to have everything on the network. Once you have that, you can go to, and I have my icon right down here. This is Design Database Transfer. They have it for Baby Lock and Brother machines. I'm on a Brother machine, so I went to the website. I did a whole video on how to put this onto your desktop. So if you'd like to do your designs, transfer them wirelessly, it is very easy. I've been very resistant. I've had software and different things that I've, maybe for the past 10 years, I could have been transferring wirelessly, and I have not done it until now. And believe me, it is very easy. You do need to have your stuff organized, and you do need to know where to find your designs. So once I open this up, this is the screen that's going to come up, and I'm going to select down here. It says send to, and I want to send it to, I have named my multi-needle My Baby. So I'm going to send it to My Baby. And now I have to go find my design. Right now, this is my Kimberbell folder. Let me go ahead. I'm going to close that folder. There are little minus and pluses here. Let me see if I can zoom in a little more for you so you can see this a little bit better. Oh my God, I have a lot of designs. So I am looking for, let's see. I'm going to close that. I have a new embroidery, even though it's not new. I have a folder that's OESD 2025. That's the folder I want. And this design is from May, so I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And there's Sea of Tranquility right here. I'm going to hit the plus. I hit the pluses until I can't open up anything else. There's my Sea of Tranquility. Here are all my designs. I'm going to go ahead and select all of them. So if you want to select just some of them, you can hold one down, but as you click on each one, it's going to deselect the other. So there's two different ways of doing this, and I'm going to show you. So one of the ways you can do it is, let me see if I can zoom out a little bit more. Okay, here's my control key right here. If I hold my control key down, I have a touch screen, and I touch each of these, it will let me do what's called cherry picking. I can deselect too. The other thing that you should be able to do is select one of them, the very first one, and then I'm going to scroll down to the very bottom one. There's the 32 of them. Then I can hit my shift key and touch the last one, and it should select all, which it didn't. You could also probably go up here to the very top. Let me see if it's other file. And sometimes there's a select all button. Edit, there, select all. See it? So I'm going to go ahead and select all, and it selects all of them, so you don't have to pick every single one. I've selected the machine I want to send it to. I'm just going to hit my down arrow. That's going to send it down here. These are the designs I'm going to transfer. And the last thing you do is you hit this send to machine button. And it is sending to the machine. Hopefully it will get sent here. And it's still thinking. It says, please wait for a while. See how it says, please wait for a while? So it's sending. We're going to wait up here. Still sending. But no more USBs. And now it said finished outputting data. I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, I am done with the computer. Now we can come to the machine. And this is where you go if you just do wireless. And there are all my designs. Wonderful, right? Easy. Easy peasy. I only do things if they're super easy. And the thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to get rid of these other designs. So if you want to get rid of, I do not keep a lot of designs stored on my machine. It just bogs it down. So I want to get rid of the project that I just finished. So I'm going to touch this button right here because it's taking up half of my memory. I'm going to just touch the ones I don't want. And I'm not getting rid of them for good. They're in the cloud. I should put them on. I have a external hard drive, and that's it. Let's not throw away anything we don't need. And then I'm going to hit delete. Is it okay to delete? Yes, it is. And now I'm left with those designs. And before I go back, I have to deselect this button right here. You can see I'm using, it looks like I'm using about half of my memory for these on my machine. So we are ready to start stitching. Let me get rid of my computer. let's go ahead and hoop. My F arm is already on there. I'm going to just push this to the back. Here are my magnets. Here is all my stabilizer, all folded and ready to go. Not all of it, because remember, I only had enough for, 20 pieces. So I'm going to grab my hoop. Let's put the thread to the side for now. To the side. And I'm going to go ahead and open this up, put down a piece of stabilizer, and then my oh, you know what? I should have done my fabric the other way. I should have run it horizontally so I could just move it along the hoop. In this case, I think I'm going to have to do each one and then cut it off and then do the next one. But that's okay. Wasn't even thinking about that. So, because this is a clamshell and I can't send my, have my fabric go this way, I should have cut my strips to go this way. And I think I usually do them 9.5 inches, but that's okay. I'm going to just do each one, cut it off, do the next one. So here's my fabric. Oh, you're not even seeing this. Hang on. There we go. So what I was saying is I shouldn't have done strips like this with this hoop because it's a clamshell and I can't make the fabric go past here. I should have cut my fabric going left and right, but that's okay. I'm just going to go ahead and I will just trim off each block as I finish. Because it doesn't take a lot of fabric. Do you know what I mean? It's okay to do that. You can really snug it in there. All right. Here are my magnets. You just pinch them and then drop it on. So easy. I love this hoop. And we are ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the machine. My F arm is already on there. I'm going to go behind. Let me pan out so you can see this a little bit better. There we go. So you see, whoops, whoopsie daisies. I pinched it. See how this is angled back here? So it has to go behind this way. And then I'm just going to push it on. And I kind of wiggle it. And it is on. And we are ready to go. Let me go ahead and pull this forward. Let's pull our threads out. So what I like to do is I like to grab all my threads and just put them in a row. And then I'll pull them on top of my machine. When I have a lot of threads, I use these little storage things. When I have not so many, then I like my my trays. So I need color 6151. Here we go. Oh, look. Wait, I think I have this opened. Did I not write? 6151. Okay. I did not write the color on here. So I will do that in a little bit. I'm just going to put them in a row for right now. 6151. Let me get this out of the way. 39. And I can also look at this to go, okay, I have blues. So it's going to be one of the blues. So 3963. A darker blue, 3951. 39, 51, 39, 51, 29, 51, 39, 51, 53, 39, 51. Oh, here's one that's open. 39, 51, 861. Looks like a tan. Here we go. 124. 3150, a gray. 3150. What I really should do is put these in order, right? That would make it easier. Yeah. We'll put them in order next time. 3150. Oh, I did not think it was going to be a lavender. 2761. 2761, another lavender. and 35.72 and 32.41, 32.41. Pretty colors. 40.71. 40.71. It looks like. Which is 40.71. Here we go. Oops. And then the color that's going to blend. So I'm going to just choose from the colors that are up here. This one might go really well. I'll just do 124. You want to pick a color that's going to blend with the fabric in case you don't encase that seam perfectly. So these are my colors. I'm going to go ahead and put them on the top. So I'm going to tie them off on the top, and then we'll go ahead and thread them all at once. And I'm just going to do them in order. It's just going to make it easier. So just going to grab them in order that they're going to be stitched out. We're not going to have to change the numbers, or we're not going to have to magic wand or do manual color sequencing for this first grouping, but it'll change after this. So for now, we're just going to pull all these old colors off. This is from my last project. We're going to put the new ones on. Once you've threaded your machine once, you really are, for the most part, just going to be tying and pulling through. So there's a little work up front, but the beauty of it is then you can leave your machine and just have it do the stitching. Whoop, grab that by accident. Couple of things with your threads in the back. Make sure that if they have that thread catcher part on the bottom, always close it. If you don't, your thread will get caught under there. Watch your threads too. Sometimes you might want to use a spool net if your threads are unruly and making a mess. Then you'll want to get a spool net just to keep those in control. Sometimes you have threads that they just stick to other threads. That's another time you might want to use a spool net. Okay, so I'm going to do, and what I mean is this bottom part, snap it shut. Otherwise, your thread will get caught under there at some point. Make sure your threads sit flat, that there's no way for the thread to get underneath the spool, because that will cause you to break needles. Okay, that's half. Now I'm going to do the other half on the other side. We're still in order. I have all my threads in order. This is going to be really pretty. It looks kind of like a stormy day, but what I love is all of these lavenders that are going to be in the sky. That's going to be gorgeous. Maybe that's why I didn't have all of these colors. I love tiling scenes because they're low maintenance. You can kind of set them and go. And then they look so, they're kind of like a, you know, when you see them on paper, it doesn't compare to what they look like when you see them stitched out. They're usually much more magnificent. Oh my God, this color is amazing. The bottom of my spool is broken though. I almost ripped it right off. This color is beautiful. It's like a dusty purple. Okay, putting on my last color. Then we're going to thread. The other thing I want to do is I want to check and see what my stitch count is. So let me show you that, because you should be changing your needles. Well, what I do is I change my needles every 80 to 100 hours, because you have 10 needles and I go 8 hours per needle and I try and spread the love. You're going to change your needles every 40 to 50 hours. Needles you'll change. Needle bar oiling is every 40 to 50 hours. So I'll leave this sticky on the side of my machine. To check your hours, you can just go in here. It depends on if you have a baby lock or a brother. On a brother, it gives you lifetime stitches and the number of stitches from your last I call it oil change, or when you had it serviced. On the baby locks, you only have the time from your last service. They do set it back. So if you do have a baby lock machine, when you get it serviced, I would ask them for your lifetime stitches as well. And that way you know where you're at. So on my machine, it is going to be page 8 of 11. And I have, let's see, I have total time 276. Ooh, it is time for me to oil my needle bars. And then since the last, it's also time for me to change my needles, right? Because 100 would be 268. So I'm beyond that. So I've already done a video showing you how to do this. I am going to pause this, but I'm going to go ahead and oil my needle bars, and I'm going to change out my needles right now. I'll be right back. Okay, now I was telling you that I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to just do it for you because it's not going to take me long. I'm going to oil all the needle bars. I removed all my needles. And then I have another set of needles. So with the multi-needles, you're going to use the HAEBBRs. The thing that makes embroidery needles, these special, they're slightly ballpoint, so you can go back and forth between different fabrics. Sometimes I'll go to a 90-14, but most of the times I use the 75-11. So, and I'll put those into, or at least I'll show you some of those. Where you're going to oil is right here. So do you see, maybe I'll get a little bit of a closer view for you. You have this little felt pad here, and that is what you're oiling. You're putting 1 drop of oil right here where the felt pad and the needle bar meet. And you can actually just pull this right down. Normally there's a needle in there, but I took them out. And as far as the oiler goes, I'm going to be using my Zoom again with that little flexible nozzle. When I take the red cap off, I'm going to pull this down. Take that, put it right here where the little spout tube. Let me zoom in again for you so you can see it better. I'm going to put that little spout right here, and I'm going to squeeze the bottle ever so slowly. You're going to see the oil coming up the tube. See? Here it comes. And I'm going to do 1 drop of oil. I'm going to do the next one. Here we do the next one. So these I can pull right down. Sometimes I'm going to have to move. They're not all going to pull down easily like this. They just are because they're far from the selected needle. Oh, last one came right down. I put 1 healthy drop. Oop, that one won't pull down. So let's see which other ones will pull down. Nope. So let's go ahead and we're going to come up here to where we can select our needles. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go to this button right here. I forgot which one I got to. So if I'm on needle number 1, it will let me pull down. Here's needle number 1. I'll be able to pull that down a little bit. The one next to it, I'll be able to pull all the way down. Okay. So I'll go ahead and leave it just the way it is. I'm going to oil needle number bar. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do 2. 1 drop of oil. And then I'm going to go to needle number 2 up here. And then it's going to let me pull down 1 and 3. So I've selected needle number 2, but now this will let me pull this down a little bit. I'm going to come in from this side. And then 3 should come all the way down. Here we go. Okay. Now I'm going to go to needle number 3. It'll let me pull 4 down. I'm just selecting 3 on the screen. It'll let me pull 4 all the way down. And then I'm going to select 4. It'll let me pull 5 all the way down. And I think I did 6. Pretty sure. Let me see. Let me select 5. It'll let me select 6. And you know what? 1 more drop of oil isn't going to hurt. So I'm just going to go ahead and give it 1 more drop of oil. Alrighty. We should be good. All right. Needle bars are oiled. Now you can put your needles back in. You do have a needle exchange tool, which I never really use it. I'm just going to grab each needle. And what I like to do is, well, let me pull those down. I'm going to switch back to needle number 1. And the reason for that is it's going to let me pull these down all the way here. And I can go ahead. You want flat to the back. I'm going to pop it up through the hole. And then I use the back of my nail and push it up. And then I grab it and push it up even more. And as I'm pushing it up, I tighten up that needle. There we go. We should be good to go. Going to do the next one. I'm going to go ahead and put this all the way up, flat to the back. Push it up into the hole, use the back of my fingernail, and then I'm going to apply upward pressure while I tighten this. Okay, I won't make you watch this part. I'm going to pause the video, and then we'll get to threading. Okay, all my needles are in. I'm going to come back over here, and on my screen, I'm at 276. So on my little sticky here, I'm going to write down 276, and then this is going to go on the side of my machine. 276, 276. So the next time I'm going to change my needles will be probably around like 376 or 350, something like that. And the next time I will change my, or I'll oil my needle bars is this plus, like 45, something like that. So this, I'll stick right back here on the side of my machine so I can keep track of that. And now we're ready to go ahead and thread the machine. All right, when you thread the machine, we put all our colors up there. I tied them off, but I have to pull them through. So I'm going to go here. This is our threading button, and I'm just going to start with needle number 1. We're already there. And what I like to do is pull right here from where you want to keep it in the thread guide. And I'm sitting in a chair for this. One hand over the other. My thread is not pulling through for some reason. So it's tight. That's when you follow your thread path. And I'm going to go up here, up and over. I'm going to follow it all the way back. And am I caught on this? There. It was caught down here somewhere. It was like stuck underneath. So you just follow your thread path. Not a big deal. Thread is through. I'm going to hit my threading button on my screen. I'm going to take my thread and put it to the right of the threader, to the left. Don't pull and drag up and around. You should have enough slack that you could do that. And then hit your threading button again. Let's get a little closer so you can see. Okay, here we go. There you go. Now I'm going to grab my next one. Ooh, he's wrapped around the needle, so you got to be careful of that too. And let me grab him. Just going to pull till the knot comes through. And I'm going to give myself maybe about 10 inches. Maybe we're a little too zoomed in. We'll zoom out a little bit. Well, this is the part you really want to see. So we'll zoom back in for this. I'm going to hit this button on my screen, make the threader cut. Whoops. We're not on that one anymore. So I'm going to switch to needle number 2. Threader forward. You're going to put it to the right of this part of the threader, to the left. And then you're just going to bring it up and around the cutter. And then hit your threading back button. If it doesn't thread, if it doesn't go through, we just changed the needles. And it was working fine before. That is your cue to go, oh, maybe I didn't put my needle up all the way. I'm going to go to needle number 3, bring my threader forward. Yeah, right? You always have to go, it was working perfectly before. Why is it not working now? So those are questions that you need to ask yourself. And that thread bounced all the way up. Let me go ahead and put it back down through the hole. Do you want to see the whole view? Okay, here we'll do the whole view. So now you can see the screen too, so you can see what I'm pushing. All right, got to go behind the thread guide. I'm going to pull this down. Well, I should zoom in for this too, so you can see this in case you're using your tool. So you can pull this down. Sorry, dogs are barking. Pull this down, and I'm going to just take my finger and put it right back here. Let it bounce up, and then pull this so it's in the thread guide. Easy peasy, right? So I rarely use that tool anymore. After somebody showed me that, I was like, what? It's that easy? I don't have to use the tool every time? Here we go. I'm on needle number 5. Did I even pull down for that last color? I gotta look. I don't know if I even pulled down. It was number 4. Oh yeah, I didn't even pull down. So let's go back to needle number 4. I just rethreaded the thread that was already in there. There we go. It's a khaki. So you know what would have happened? The knot would have gotten stuck in the eye of the needle because I've done that before. Not a big deal, but I just would have been confused. I would have been like, what's going on? 6 to the right, to the left, up and around. 7. I don't think there's a lot of classes out there with the multi-needle, so this might be good for you. Sometimes people just need the basics, right? 8. Right to the left, up and around, never dragging it, just placing it. And 9. Here we go. Make sure he's... What was that noise? Okay, and then number 10, and then we're ready to program. And then Patrick and I are going to run to the store, and it's going to do all this amazing stitching while I'm done. It's the beauty of the multi-needle. He was like, let's go to the store. I was like, let me program first. All right. I'm going to pop my hoop on, slide it here to the back, and I'm just going to get that on. Do you want to see that too? I'm just going to wiggle it. You can hear it click into place. And let's bring up our first design, which I think I already did. So we are going to do design number 1. Here we go. Should be this one, shouldn't it? Well, it doesn't look like it. This looks like just sky. So let me see. Maybe it loaded it the first to the last. Well, I think that's it. That looks like it, right? Like this one and this sky, little sky there. I think that one's it. Let's see. Let's go ahead and let's set it. So we're going to do this one. Go ahead and set. We're going to rotate it because it doesn't fit in there. So rotate. I'm always going to rotate these each 90 degrees to the left. You can do whatever you want. I would just stay consistent. And I'm going to say okay. And edit because we're not editing at all. I'm going to hit embroidery because I want to see how many stitches this is. This is not right because this is 34,872. I want one that is 35,056. Let's go back. Let me see if I can identify. Whoops. Okay, it's not those. It's not any of those. Okay. It could possibly be those, but I don't think it's any of those. See how we have a band of clouds right here in the middle? So I think it might be this one right here. That was what I'd selected before. Interesting. Let's go ahead and set it. Let's go and edit. Oh, sorry. We got to rotate. And edit. I think this is that. Let's go manual color sequencing. I'm pretty sure this is the right design. 615. Yeah. I am going to program it for this. This is it. Okay, let's just program it. Should be right. They should all be in order. So I'm going to leave it, and I'm just going to go to the very last one, and we're just going to put a stop here. Pause. We're going to let it stitch. And then I'm going to go ahead and say okay. We're going to go embroidery, and we're just going to let it do its thing. I'm going to check my bobbin. So if I am leaving for the morning, like if I'm setting this up before I go to work, I'll put a brand new fresh bobbin in, because you don't want it to stop because it runs out of thread. I'm going to check this really quickly. Oh, that feels good. I'm going to pop this in. And unlock and stitch. And we are good to go. Off to the races. I'll see you back in 63 minutes. Okay, I had to start the filming so I could show you how amazing this looks. It looks so beautiful stitched out. I'm super excited about it. And I love this as the background fabric. Again, this is vanilla grunge, and there's so much depth in this fabric. I mean, it would look perfect just if this fabric wasn't stitched over, but look how amazing it looks with those colors. Fun, huh? All right, while this is stitching out, usually what I'll do is I'll get ready with the next grouping of colors. So I'm gonna go ahead and a lot of the colors might be repeats. So let's see. So we've got 6151, 6151, 3963, 3963, 3951, 861, 124, 3150. Seems like they're all repeats so far. 32, 40, 71. Okay, and then it's going to add in 2674 and 520. So we need 520 and 2674, which is some sort of blue. 2674. It's not already up there, is it? No. So we're looking for 2674. Could be a gray. 2674. Okay, hang on. That could also be a color that was with, you know what? I'm going to put these in numerical order. So I found my 2674. I just had to put all my threads in order. So now we are good to go. It should be much easier for me to find everything. But when we set up the next grouping, I mean, we're really just going to let it stitch the way it is. We'll put a pause in, we'll add these two colors, and that'll be it. I'm almost done with this. All I have left is just a little bit of purple, the light, I think that's like almost like a light gray, and then we'll put in our last color right here with the red thread. So I will see you in a little bit. Here you go. It's gorgeous. I'm so excited. You know, it's different when it comes to life. So we are going to change out. First, I have to pick what color is going to match the best. And I'm just going to go with this one, 860. Or you know what? 124 looks really good over there. So I'm going to go ahead and do 124. I'm going to magic wand it to needle number 5. And then I'm going to go ahead and change out my bobbin. You might hear my TV because I was starting to watch a show. I'm going to go with my red bobbin. And let me pop that in. I'm watching some rock and roll documentary about the muse to the Rolling Stones. I'm going to unlock, start, let's stitch it. This is going to do the last outline stitch. then I'm going to cut this one off, and then we'll re-hoop. Perfect. Yay. All right, let me move this book over. I kind of need a ruler, huh? Hang on. Okay. Don't forget, this is a hooping mat, not a cutting mat. I say that really to remind myself and not you. It's really for me. I'm going to go grab a ruler. That was said for me and not you. Okay, if I had my fabric hooped the other way or cut the other way, I would just slide it along. I wouldn't even take this off, but it's not. So I'm going to go ahead and take these off. Cutting mat. I love these for when you go to like a class. And I'm just going to go ahead and rip this stabilizer off over here on this side. I don't have to rip it all off. I'll get it later. I want it right here because this is where I'm going to be cutting it. And you want to be about 1/2 inch. We're going to be cutting 1/2 inch from that red line. However, because I haven't pressed it yet, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it. Why don't we cut it 3/4 inch from that red line? 3/4. So here is my 1/2 inch. So it doesn't look right to me. Okay, my 1/2 inch, I'm going to go a little bit more than that. And I need my rotary cutter. Where are you? I'm actually just doing 1/8 inch more. There we go. And because I'm doing it like this, I'm probably going to only be able to fit, I'm thinking maybe 6 of these. Isn't that gorgeous? Maybe 6 per strip, so I'll need 1 more strip, and that's totally fine. So let's go ahead and hoop again. Let's grab our hoop, our fabric, our stabilizer. Remember, my stabilizer's pre-cut. It's a folded piece of, this is a folded piece of 12-inch heavy tearaway. And I'm going to put this right under here. And the advantage to just hooping and not trimming is we'd be able to save some more fabric, but that's okay. And let's put our magnets back on. So we'll probably, like I said, I think we'll be able to fit 6 per strip. That's 1 here, 1 here, 1 more, 2, 3. Hopefully I'll be able to do 6 per strip. Okay, gonna slide this back on. And I think we're already programmed and ready to go. All right. Let's come on back over the screen. We're gonna select our next design, and all our colors are already up there. So let's go home. I'm going to go here to the Wi-Fi. And they loaded in with the newest ones down at the bottom. So that was our first one right here. This should be the next one. Let's look at our book. Like billowing clouds. And there should be, do you see it down here at the bottom? I don't know if you can see whatever that top little part of the building. So that's it. I'm going to go ahead and hit set, rotate 90 degrees to the left. And I mean, we could snug it up just the tiniest bit. Why don't we? We might as well, just to save ourselves the littlest bit of fabric. I mean, it'll save us what? I don't know, half an inch. And let's go ahead and say okay and edit. Change to a larger embroidery frame. I must be one click too high. So I'm going to go down. Let's see if it lets us do it now. One more click. Let's do 2 more clicks. Okay, that put us in there. There's our manual color sequencing, and I'm just going to check my colors. So the first one's 6151, and I'm just looking up here. I'm just going to look at my numbers: 3963, 3951, 861, 124, 3150, 2761, 3572, 3241, and 4071. Okay, so those are all in order. So I'm going to go ahead and just go to color number 11. I'm going to put a pause here, and then I can load in the next 2 colors, which we've already pulled aside. It's 2674 and 520. And then, of course, I'm going to put one right at the very end. I'm going to put a pause there. I'm going to check and make sure I didn't leave the red thread in. Good thing I checked. And let's go ahead and put a white bobbin in. So we'll put a white bobbin in. And usually when I'm not sitting here and attending, I usually will run my machine at 800. Just because I feel like that's kind of a sweet spot where I don't have any issues. So I'm going to go ahead and say okay, embroidery. And we're at 800 stitches. I am going to unlock, hit start, and let the magic happen. And we'll come back here when this one is done.